and then I was going to throw grenades, and then here was my trench knife sticking up there. And sometime another night, next day, a 30 caliber hit that brass and went through and spread out against that steel blade of that. You know, it was like a knife and just spread. It was a good souvenir. I lost that thing. Well, it got in a barracks bag. I put it shipped to Italy while Liberty ship got sunk.
That the trench knife with the brass knuckles on?
Yeah, trench knife with a brass knuckle. Had that 30 caliber bullet stuck in it. I said, damn, and that was a good souvenir.
Yeah, it was.
But I lost it. And it was, it didn't last too long, that battle didn't. We had a pretty good battle before the Herman Goring division come down the road one day, and then it come down early the next morning. And they, I don't know, unexplainable, they took a break right down there. It looked like right down in front of us. And we killed quite a few of them there. And
did you have your VAR at that time?
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I had a sniper rifle.
Were you able to get, well, sitting up on top of that hill, you must have had a pretty good field of
Oh,
fire.
I had a good field of fire. Sure did. I did. Only thing I had, like I say, had that little thumb on that bandage, and I didn't tell you. I hadn't wanted to tell that hardly because I went to, we come to an Italian house and was checking it out. We didn't know, and I don't know what the German was doing in there, but he come out and he tried to stick me with a bayonet. And I just stepped to the side there and kind of caught it. My buddy killed him. And then them Italians in there thought we was gonna kill them. You know, he and I, my buddy and I was the only ones there, so I hadn't told that story but once or twice. But it was close, but he tried to.
They walked out of the house.
He come when we banged on the door, and when he opened it, well, he come right through the door with his bayonet and tried to, that's stupid, but that's what he tried to do.
And you just sidestepped it?
Yeah, just sidestep.
What did your buddy do, shoot him, or?
No, the guy behind me shot him. My buddy shot him.
Your buddy behind you shot him?
I was too close. But, and that's what we did to start with. You know, we're just trying to find a way with other troops. And
that's when you were trying to locate the rest
locate them before we ever got to that hill. And
wow.
I don't know, it seemed like it stretched on 2 or 3 days before we got there. I don't know, but we were trying to, we'd hear some fire and go that way trying to locate somebody. And after that after that battle got by, that's when we got reorganized, and that's when they sent us on around the coast. And that's what we did the rest of the Sicilian campaign. We'd go on patrol, we'd spot somebody, we'd go around them and whatnot, and then we'd maybe ambush some Germans coming this way until too many come up, and then we'd run back. It was a, you know, hide and seek type, guerrilla type warfare all along there. And those pillboxes, a good thing that they didn't come in from sea. Those pillboxes were set up, they were well defended, and the Italians just didn't have a man. They didn't come that way. And we had one stupid thing. We were going to burn up blow up all the ammunition. You know, you read things about shooting that ammunition, make it explode. We piled a lot of it up. We shot it and shot it. We couldn't explode. Probably lucky we couldn't. We'd have blown ourselves off the mountain. But you know, that's the first combat we'd had. We were just
you didn't know.
Yeah.
didn't know it.
Still, Well, after the Sicilian campaign, did you stay in Sicily before you went to Italy, or did you go back to North Africa?
No, stayed in Sicily. We left. They gave us a little training for a time or two how to go to the side of them boats, and then they didn't go to the side when it went up on the LSTs, where it just ramped down the front. LCIs, yeah. And that's where we went into Salerno or Mayor, I think it's Salerno. And
so you went into Salerno, and then
we weren't the first ones in Salerno. That somebody else already been in. We come in and we marched up the mountains, through the mountains, and the first real fighting we got to was up there I don't know, I think it's some kind of pass. There was a tunnel under it there and whatnot. And we took positions up on that mountain, up over that tunnel, and I don't know, probably for a month or so, all I did was go on patrol from there. And
did you have the VAR by then, or?
Yes, I did.
You did.
Uh-huh.
How did you get that? Did you just swap it out, or did you
I shot it, and I cleaned it with one of them German cleaning chains. It broke off in it and couldn't get it out. And so I had to get an M1 rifle.
So when you got to Salerno, you guys had followed. Was it the 36th in? 36th, I think, was that?
Sure. I just don't remember. I don't.
Where did you guys go after you got inland?
Well, after that, like I say, first thing we went was that big pass up there in the mountains, and we were looking over the Naples Valley. And well, we had a real showcase there. We could watch the bombers bombing Naples and fighter planes and whatnot. And after that, we moved on to Naples and just rode on to Naples. It was just practically nothing going into there. We just they broke through, and that's when the real slugging started in the mountains. We did nothing but walk up and down mountains and cross rivers after that.
Tell me about moving through those mountains. I mean, Italy is a rough country anyhow.
A lot of times what they'll do, they'd send me out on patrol, and I'd find around running, and I'd spot some Germans and kind of see how much they were and whatnot, and come back, and until other patrols were doing the same thing. And then they'd come back, and well, we'd march and find a way and get her over behind them and maneuver around behind them. And when they realized that, and the outpost saw us going around like that, they'd move to another position. And that's mostly what we'd do. Sometimes we'd get to ambush an outpost on them, or sometimes they'd fire at us when we was on patrol and whatnot. But we didn't really have any big firefights in that stuff. Not my immediate unit didn't. We was just a lot of engagement, large groups at a time. It was mostly maneuvering and small patrols, and nighttime they'd try to maybe infiltrate, and you couldn't, and we'd try to go through them.
Did they ever get close to you at night? Did they ever infiltrate
your
yeah. particular area?
Yeah, they did. I know I was out one time when they infiltrated, and when I got back, they used to tell me about it. But you know, the funny thing about it, you'd hear firing all up and down all night long. And mostly it was nerves. Their nerves and ours both. They'd shoot at shadows or sounds or something, but it was amazing how much fire was going on like that. Most of the time there wasn't anything. And then we went on there after we got there finally at Naples. That's when we went. I forget when they pulled us down to Stanzio. From the exact time frame, but they pulled us back to Stanzio, and that was another one of them. When we hit Anzio, the part of the company right on my left got hit by a bomb, dive bomb, strafed. We was coming up the deck, and all at once all that stuff started, and we weren't the first group ashore. There'd already been people ashore, and it hit that little ASCI wreck next to us, and they dropped back down again. And then we went on. We waited on in, and we had no opposition right there at the beach. Just moving on through the Mussolini Canal.
Well, back at near Salerno, when you were up in those mountains, did you guys run into a lot of booby traps? Did the Germans set a lot of traps on those narrow
Well,
paths?
they sure did. I know there's one time, I'm trying to think of that was before or after we left. Anyway, we relieved somebody, and they sent me on a patrol out. I went up to company commander. He sent me out on patrol, and a friend of mine was an operations sergeant. He had been to demolition school and learned how to pick his way through minefields and how to disarm and whatnot. And he asked the company commander, it wasn't a regular company commander, he'd gotten wounded, and can I go with him? And he looked at him and said, well, I don't want to lose you. I thought to myself, no. But he let him go. Kid Warner he was our operations sergeant, so he went on to patrol with us. And they knew they had a minefield out there, and because Germans, that was good. They'd mark their minefield front and back with wire. It was marked. Now ours, we didn't do that. We just marked their side. I mean, our side with wire warned it. We didn't mark their side. And we had them bouncing bedsits and things that we had to pick. We disarmed found a few of them on the way through there and picked our way through. And we got on through, and there's a couple of outposts we could spot over here and over there. And we shot at a couple of them, and they shot at us, and we come back. And a day or two later, they decided they're going to send the whole company over there, and we was going to lead the way. And we led the way and told them, we marked it. They right behind us, and one of them guys went around a big boulder and stepped on a bouncing Betsy, and it killed him. And just had to be careful. But
And to keep your wits about you all the time.
yeah, I mean, if she said stay out, I mean, especially in a minefield of all things. And
Okay.
but
Well, did you guys get near Hill 1017, or was that?
I think we were the first ones on 1017. My platoon.
And your CO and your XO were both hit on that, weren't they?
That was later. See, we went up there. I think it was a little town. I'm not sure. I think it was Collie. It was just before it got to it. We went the night before. Just my squad went in, and we was going in there. And we was running into Italian. He said the Germans are all gone, and we had them leading the way in there. And all it was bad weather. All at once a stroke of lightning hit out there, and boy, you could him and all us like not got back to the road. And we spent the night there. And next morning, we went over up that hill, and well, that night, Captain Capel, Lieutenant Capel, he joined us with the rest of the platoon, and we went up on that hill, and there was an outpost of Germans up there. We killed some of them, run them off, and that's where I captured a sniper rifle, a German sniper rifle. Never heard any more out of it. It's beautiful, looked like a sporting rifle. Had a automatic, had a big, nice scope on it, and we dug in up there that night and I almost slept out of my foxhole that night because I couldn't dig it but about that deep in that old rocky ground. It sure was uncomfortable. But boy, we'd run them out of that area, and they must have had it zeroed in because that night they threw an artillery barrage in on it, and anything out of the foxhole would have been ribbons. But anyway, I took that rifle back, and first thing I know, somebody come down there and says, "Ordnance wants that gun." So that's what happened to my sniper rifle I captured.
Oh, man.
Went home with somebody's
Well, but
Well, did you guys run into mines that night when you attacked on that hill on 1017?
no, there was no minefield on it at that time. I don't know. The next morning, we come back across. There's a valley down there from that little town, and up over there, the mountains over there, and there was a road running around it, a highway, and he was over there, I guess, 1,100 or 1,200 yards. Motorcycle rider come around there when in German, and I guess that's the luckiest, the best shot I ever made. I shot him off that motorcycle all the way across that canyon, and we went away. I don't know whether my shot hit him or hit the motorcycle, but anyhow, he was mashed up when he hit the bottom off that road, and he had a dispatch case. I don't know. We turned it over. I don't know what was in it.
Like you didn't look
He
inside?
probably did. Well, we couldn't read German.
True.
But it got back to him. I don't know what was in it.
So how far was that shot?
It was a long one. It was maybe 1,100, 1,200 yards. And for the M1 rifle, and him riding a motorcycle, I probably couldn't do it shooting at him all day again.
Man, that's a long shot there.
Too long. I could shoot a sniper rifle, somebody said still that long, and had to get a few shots to zero in on that. But it's just one of those things.
You must have been pretty well known through the company after that.
I really was. I didn't realize it till later that my name was getting bandied around quite a bit. And
Old Eagle Eye Finkbeiner.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a serious shot there.
But there wasn't that shot. It's the patrols what I was getting.
And that's pretty much all you guys did around there before you.
Well, that's what my squad did. That's what my squad did. I know we was going up Mussolini Canal, and once they stopped, they sent back. Let me go up and check it out in front of them, and thank goodness we lived through it.
What about Thanksgiving that year? Did you get any Thanksgiving dinner?
I don't know if it was Thanksgiving or Christmas. We was pulled down off of that mountain, where we'd gone through that minefield, and there's an orchard there, and we was looking up, watching, opening presents and stuff, and watching a dog fight up over here, and we were just laughing all at once. One of them dog fighters dive-bombed at us, and hit right there, and I jumped up laughing. Well, we was really fooled, wasn't it? About that time, them guys was all busted to heck right there by me. And so it just surprising, you know, how fast something can happen like that. And just like I say, on them mountains, you know, I always felt pretty good if I could get in a foxhole or a rifle, somebody right of me, somebody left of me. But when them dive bombers dive down at you, you got nothing between you and it. It's pretty terrifying.
I bet. I bet
Sure is.
so. I bet. Well, after Thanksgiving of '43, you guys were pulled back. Didn't y'all have to take some hills?
We had to take some hills, but you know, it just one of those things run right after another. But there was never any big frontal attacks or anything like that going on for us.
Well, after you guys were pulled off the lines right before Christmas, y'all were sent to a rest area near Venafro, I believe it was. And what'd you guys do there?
Just kind of clean up and relax.
Replacements and whatnot.
Get feel up real.
And then you guys were sent to Anzio.
Yeah.
What did they tell you about the Anzio operation before you went over there?
That's where we was going.
You go in here, and you go in there and
Yeah.
just push on in.
They told, you know, said we was going to leapfrog around them, cut them off. We got cut off.
Tell me about that. You guys got to the Mussolini Canal and H Company got surrounded for a few days. Didn't
It sure did. I know, and I had just got back to them and they got surrounded because I was going up Mussolini Canal, and the Navy was giving us a rolling barrage, and they was making a foxhole. We'd go from one shell hole to the next and climb in it. And I was in one of them foxholes and kind of had an enfilade on a bunch of Germans along the ditch bank over there, and I was racking them up. And all at once I got shot, and that put me out of the thing for a while. Real funny. I looked right down, and that's where I was hit, right down there over that pocket. And I looked down. You know, we always carried a Bible there, so we could see our life was saved by a Bible, and I missed it by a half inch. Anyhow, it hit, and it just made a pretty round hole there. And I looked down there. Golly, I wonder if I'm gonna die. My buddy come up, he looked down, his eyes got wide open. He put a bandage on. He said, "Well, I got to go on." So he'd be back up here, so he put a one of them ace bandages things on it, and a little that powder, and went on with. And I didn't feel that bad. I walked back to the aid station a little bit, and they carried me to the hospital on the beach. And
So you were sitting there shooting at them, and all of a sudden, wham!
Wham! I got hit one, and my Tommy gun, two or three of them hit the stock and just kind of shattered it. And that's the only one hit me. It hit me here, and they cut it out right down here. It just lanced down under my ribs and didn't really do any damage. Just, thank goodness.
Flesh wound.
Yeah, more or less.
How long were you at the hospital?
Not long, about a week or so. I thought they was going to give me 30 days, what the doctor said. Regimental surgeon come back in, they was losing too many men up front. He went by and everybody that could walk, he sent them back up. I was one of them. Yeah, I still had stitches, and I told him, I said, "Well, I can't wear a pack." He said, "Oh, well, we fix it where you don't have to carry a pack."
You were taking them out with the Thompson, then they were within fairly close range.
Oh yeah, it was one of those little burp guns, one of them little machine pistols, 9mm machine pistol type things, what they shot me with. 9mm. That's what they cut out, dang, little 9mm shell.
Yeah.
But I was in hog heaven. I was racking them up. No, just like that. They were kind of in a line from me, kind of angle.
Yeah.
And I was at a foxhole here, and I was just, I had them.
Taking them out.
But there was evidently some over here I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Well, your Thompson was shattered, obviously.
Just the stock of it, just splintered. The stock of it was splintered.
So what they do? Would they give you another Thompson, or they give you another stock, or you just something?
I got it when I got back to the unit. I got a M1, which was normally what I was carrying. I don't know why that morning I was carrying a Thompson. Really don't. I know I just made acting squad leader, so that's probably a reason. The squad leaders or platoon sergeants, the only ones that had Tommy guns. The rest of us had M1s.
Well, you got back there and, when was this? Was this late January, early February when you got back after being hit?
I think it was. I got record of it, but I don't remember what time it was. It just,
Well, when you got back there, they were already, H Company was already up on the canal by then.
oh
right?
yeah, they had a man, and I think the next day they really counterattacked. I mean, that's when we found out them little carbines wasn't any good. They'd shoot a man and hit him just right in the body, and he'd keep walking toward you. And they'd take 3 or 4 shots sometime with that little carbine before it stopped one. And I don't know, we thought maybe they'd doped up or something. But after that, didn't anybody want to be armed with a carbine?
Well, when you guys were surrounded, would you recall the British pulling back through your lines? Do you recall that happening?
No, they must have been on one side or the other of me, right where I was.
Okay.
But you know, if it's 75, 100 yards over there, you don't know who it is or exactly what's going on most of the time.
Yeah.
You just have to take care of your part.
Yeah, you guys must, I mean, you had to know you were surrounded. I mean, you
Oh yeah, we could hear it
receiving
on
fire
both
from
sides.
all
Okay.
sides.
Mhm. But as long as we had somebody guarding any direction, you know, we didn't worry a whole lot about it. We figured we could handle it.
They never broke through
No,
anywhere?
not through right where us, no.
How long were you surrounded for?
Just one day, I think.
Just a day. And was it, I think it was I Company or G Company came and broke through and
I know they come through to us. I don't, there's some of our troops got to us. And from then on, it was much easier. That's when we settled down into patrolling.
you guys, y'all had to pull, once they broke through, did y'all pull back or did y'all stay?
We stayed pretty well. We solidified a line, more or less a line, you know, and and sometimes we'd move forward to a little better position, you know, if we could see we could. But, you know, at night you'd go on patrol and every once in a while they'd throw a flare up, and it was pretty flat at Anzio, so you didn't do too much. And that's mostly it. We broke out and took on a little town right next to us. And from then on, I think that's the last action I remember over there. I don't remember exactly Anzio.
You guys were there a long time. I know you said you were there for what, 3 months?
Well, from the 22nd till about January till about the 23rd to the 26th of August. March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys were there a long
We were there a pretty good
time.
while. It seemed like it.
In one area.